What comes to mind when you see a black celebrity at a lavish fashion event, draped in a massive blanket that makes them look like a beggar amidst all the glitz and glamour? Or when a music icon steps into a church wearing a sheer purple jumpsuit, completely defying societal norms? Are these just attention-grabbing stunts? No, they carry a much deeper meaning, one that will leave you stunned once you understand the intent behind them. Let's dive into the stories of 25 black stars who have made unforgettable marks with their unique, creative, and groundbreaking fashion choices. 1. Grace Jones. The giant hat that left an audience speechless. Could you believe that a single hat could bring an entire award show to a standstill? If anyone could do it, it was Grace Jones, a music, fashion, and cultural icon known for her fearless individuality. With legendary hits like Pull Up to the Bumper and Slave to the Rhythm, she never played by the rules, constantly pushing the boundaries of music, fashion, and artistic expression. Picture this. It's 1981, a prestigious award ceremony filled with the elite of the entertainment industry. The atmosphere is refined, the crowd dressed in elegant evening wear, until Grace walks in wearing an enormous pyramid-shaped hat. The sheer size of it blocked the view of multiple rows, throwing the room into awkward silence and confusion. A well-known white actor, unable to contain his frustration, scoffed at the lack of sophistication, subtly suggesting she didn't belong in such a space. But instead of apologizing or backing down, Grace simply shrugged and delivered a cutting response. If they want a better view, maybe they should learn to look beyond. The next day, headlines crowned her the Queen of the Future, while critics were dismissed as narrow-minded relics of the past. This wasn't just about a hat or an award show. It was a bold statement of defiance, a challenge to the status quo, and a lesson in self-assurance. So here's the real question. Would you dare to stand out like Grace Jones? 2. Prince. The sheer outfit that silenced a church prince, the legendary singer and musician, was one of the most revolutionary figures in 20th century music. With timeless hits like Purple Rain, Kiss, and When Doves Cry, he didn't just redefine pop and rock. He shattered every norm of gender, fashion, and personal expression. Known for blending music and fashion effortlessly, Prince was never afraid to challenge societal expectations with his bold and unapologetic style. At a special charity event held inside a church, where conservative elites sat discussing morality in their tailored black suits, Prince stole every glance. Under the shimmering chandeliers, his sheer purple jumpsuit sparkled, making the entire room freeze in stunned silence. A senior pastor, visibly uncomfortable, couldn't hold back his disapproval and scoffed. "Don't you feel a little exposed?" Prince didn't say a word. Instead, he picked up his guitar and played a soul-stirring melody, captivating every person in the hall. As his flawless notes filled the space, every murmur of criticism faded into nothing. When the music ended, he simply smiled, shrugged, and said, "God never told me to wear a suit." That wasn't just a witty remark, it was a statement. A declaration that no one gets to define freedom or beauty except the person living it. In that moment, Prince didn't just win over the audience with his music. He reminded the world that true greatness comes from daring to be different. 3. Whoopi Goldberg. The dress that became a power statement. "When I was a child, they told me not to dream too big. Now all eyes are on me, and I love it." That quote sums up the energy Whoopi Goldberg has carried throughout her career. Known for her groundbreaking performances in The Color Purple, Sister Act, and as the host of The View, Whoopi has never just been an actress or a comedian. She's been a trailblazer, challenging every barrier in the entertainment industry. At the 2018 Met Gala, one of the most prestigious fashion events in the world, Whoopi made headlines by stepping onto the red carpet in an oversized dress covered in eye motifs, a striking contrast to the usual dazzling gowns and traditional glamour. Almost instantly, white fashion critics dismissed it as clumsy and unfit for the Met Gala. A fashion journalist, with a clear tone of condescension, asked her, "Do you really think this dress belongs at the Met Gala?" With an unshaken smile, Whoopi responded, "When I was a child, they told me not to dream too big. Now all eyes are on me, and I love it." That single line spread like wildfire across social media, turning criticism into a statement of power. Whoopi's moment on the red carpet wasn't just about fashion. It was about reclaiming space. She became a beacon for countless black artists who had been pushed aside by the elitist world of high fashion. Whoopi didn't just assert her right to exist in any space she chose. She proved that sometimes being different isn't just powerful, it's what makes you unforgettable. 4. Erykah Badu, the head wrap that stopped Paris in its tracks. Can you imagine a superstar like Erykah Badu, known for her neo-soul sound and iconic albums like Baduizm and Mama's Gun, bringing an entire city to a standstill over a head wrap? In 2014, at Paris Fashion Week, Erykah arrived wearing a massive, statement-making head wrap that commanded attention. A well-known white designer scoffed at the look, dismissing it as too primitive. But instead of arguing, Badu smiled, removed the head wrap, and gently placed it on his head. 1 week later, his brand's newest collection debuted with African-inspired head wraps as the focal point. With a single silent gesture, Erykah Badu turned an insult into a cultural statement. She didn't just wear a head wrap, she made it a symbol of heritage, self-expression, and the undeniable power of embracing one's roots. 5. Andra Leon Talley, the 16-foot cape that redefined fashion. Can a 16-foot cape make the world stop and stare? If anyone could prove it, it was Andra Leon Talley, the legendary fashion editor who shaped the industry itself. At the 2017 Met Gala, Talley arrived draped in a massive, flowing cape, turning heads and demanding attention. The grandeur wasn't just for show. It was a statement of power and presence. When asked if the cape was too much, he simply smirked and responded, "Fashion isn't meant to fit you. You're meant to fit fashion." With that single line, he shattered every notion of what was appropriate. His cape wasn't just fabric. It was a symbol of power, individuality, and unapologetic confidence. 6. Missy Elliott, the inflated jacket that inspired a generation. Missy Elliott has never played by the rules. As one of hip-hop's most groundbreaking rappers and producers, she redefined both music and fashion with hits like Get Her Freak On and Work It. At the 2019 VMAs, Missy made headlines again, this time for a massive inflatable jacket that defied all conventions. But instead of praise, critics called it too big and overwhelming. Missy, unfazed, simply responded, "When you grow up as a black girl in a world that doesn't see you, you learn to take up space." That wasn't just a clapback. It was a bold declaration of self-worth and power. She didn't shrink to fit the world. She expanded to own it. So, the real question is, how much space would you take up if you weren't afraid to be seen? 7. Lil' Kim, the jumpsuit that made the music industry rethink. Can an outfit change the way we see bodily autonomy? In 1999, Lil' Kim did exactly that. She stepped onto the stage in a sparkling purple jumpsuit with one breast boldly exposed, covered only by a large floral pasty. It wasn't just daring fashion. It was a statement of body freedom in a world where women's clothing choices were constantly policed. Lil' Kim refused to conform. When critics slammed her look as inappropriate for a woman, she simply smiled and responded, "I didn't wear this to fit in. I wore this so women know they have control over their own bodies." That moment didn't just shock the industry. It sparked a movement of confidence, autonomy, and self-expression. Because in Lil' Kim's world, no standard is unbreakable. 8. Billy Porter, the tuxedo gown that shook Hollywood. Fashion has long been considered a personal expression, but Billy Porter proved it could be a revolution. At the 2019 Oscars, he arrived in a stunning tuxedo gown, effortlessly blending masculinity and femininity in a way that shattered long-standing gender norms. But this wasn't just about style. It was a bold declaration of personal freedom and the right to exist beyond society's expectations. As he walked the red carpet, a male actor sneered, "Men don't wear dresses." Without missing a beat, Porter turned to him and responded, "I'm not wearing a dress. I'm wearing history." That moment wasn't just a clapback. It was a cultural shift. His presence challenged Hollywood's rigid definitions of masculinity, proving that no rule can limit self-expression when you have the courage to live authentically. Billy Porter didn't just make fashion history. He ignited a movement that redefined identity, freedom, and power on the red carpet. 9. Rihanna, turning naked into iconic. When Rihanna arrived at the 2014 CFDA Awards, she didn't just wear a dress, she made a statement. Draped in a completely sheer, crystal-covered gown, she radiated confidence, her unapologetic presence commanding every camera flash. But not everyone was ready for it. Critics called it indecent and too revealing, claiming she had gone too far. Rihanna, unfazed, responded with effortless defiance. "I don't see anything indecent about loving myself." With that single line, she silenced her detractors. What could have been a scandal became a defining moment in fashion history, a celebration of body confidence, self-love, and the refusal to be ashamed of one's power. Rihanna didn't just wear the dress, she redefined what it meant to own your image, proving that confidence is the most powerful thing a person can wear. 10. Cardi B, the giant floral gown that became a cultural statement. Cardi B has never been one to hold back, and at the 2019 Met Gala, she proved it once again. Draped in a monumental red gown that cascaded across the carpet, she was a vision of grandeur and unapologetic presence. But as always, critics had opinions. Some dismissed the look as too extravagant, comparing it to an overgrown flower in full bloom. Cardi, however, didn't just brush off the criticism, she turned it into a statement. If you've ever been overlooked, you learn to bloom anywhere. This wasn't just a witty comeback, it was a powerful declaration for Black women and marginalized voices, a reminder that visibility is a choice, not a privilege granted by others. Cardi B didn't just wear a dress, she embodied a movement, forcing the world to rethink beauty, identity, and who gets to take up space. 11. Janelle Monáe, the suit that became a gender statement. Janelle Monáe has always been one of the most unapologetic and boundary-breaking artists in entertainment. Known for her signature black and white suits, she refuses to conform to traditional expectations of femininity. When a critic once asked why she didn't dress more feminine, Janelle simply smiled and responded, "I wear suits because I'm a woman, and I don't have to prove that to anyone." Her response wasn't just about fashion. It was a powerful declaration that women don't need to fit into society's predefined molds. Janelle Monáe has used her presence to inspire millions, proving that fashion is not about pleasing others, but about owning who you are. She isn't just an artist. She's a leader in the movement for self-expression and gender equality. 12. Zendaya, the suit of armor that stunned Hollywood. Zendaya, a young and talented actress, created an unforgettable moment at the 2018 Met Gala. As she stepped onto the red carpet in a Joan of Arc-inspired gown, she wasn't just wearing a dress, she was embodying strength and defiance. The outfit was bold, commanding, and impossible to ignore. Yet a reporter, failing to grasp its meaning, asked if the look was too strong for a young actress. Without hesitation, Zendaya replied, "I don't need anyone to tell me what I should look like to be successful." That single statement wasn't just about fashion. It was about self-determination and the power to define one's own image. The gown was more than fabric. It was a warrior's armor, a declaration that in this world, no one has the right to dictate how someone should present themselves. Zendaya's look didn't just turn heads. It challenged Hollywood's outdated notions of beauty and success, proving that taking up space and expressing oneself freely is the true mark of power. 13. Solange Knowles, the UFO gown that shocked the Met Gala in 2015. Solange Knowles made an unforgettable entrance at the Met Gala in a bold, UFO-shaped gown designed by Giles Deacon. The oversized, dramatic piece hovered over the red carpet, demanding attention with its unique structure and alien-like form. The gown, a striking departure from the typical sleek, conventional designs at high-profile events, resembled a galaxy folded into fabric, an intricate mix of bold color and sculptural artistry that had never been seen at the Met Gala before. The reactions were divided. Some admired its daring design, while others struggled to understand its meaning. For Solange, it wasn't about conforming or seeking approval. The gown was a personal statement of individuality, a challenge to the mainstream narrative of beauty and fashion. She wasn't there to blend in. She was there to stand out and make the world recognize a different kind of artistry, one often overlooked in the fashion industry. More than just a dress, it was a message. Solange's gown made sure her black artistry was seen and acknowledged. It raised questions about the lack of diversity in art and fashion, demanding a place for new perspectives. Solange's bold fashion choice opened a conversation about redefining beauty and pushing the boundaries of traditional style, encouraging others to break free from societal norms and express their unique selves. 14. $1 AP Rocky. A blanket became a fashion icon. At the 2021 Met Gala, $1 AP Rocky stepped onto the red carpet draped in an oversized quilt, a stark contrast to the high fashion gowns and tailored suits surrounding him. Initially, many found it hard to understand how such a humble, cozy item could make its way into such an extravagant event. To some, it even seemed like the rapper had shown up in what could be mistaken for a beggar's blanket, clashing with the opulence of the gala. But the quilt wasn't just a piece of fabric. It carried deep personal significance. The quilt, originally donated by the family of a late grandmother, was a familiar sight to many black children, evoking memories of childhood comfort and family warmth. For Rocky, the blanket represented much more than nostalgia. It symbolized his roots and history. What was once seen as an everyday item became a bold fashion statement, reflecting the rapper's deep connection to his heritage and identity. By turning a simple quilt into a high fashion moment, $1 AP Rocky transformed it from a personal relic into a powerful statement about embracing one's past and making history a part of the present. It wasn't just fashion, it was a defiant act of ownership, showing that true style is about personal significance, not just culture. 15. Lupita Nyong'o. A dress that became a beauty statement. In the glamorous world of Hollywood, where the red carpet often feels like a battleground for the latest trends and beauty standards, Lupita Nyong'o's appearance at the 2014 Oscars made waves in ways no one expected. Draped in a flowing, sky-blue Prada gown, she not only paid homage to her Kenyan roots, but also made a bold statement about the beauty of dark skin. The dress was breathtaking, a symbol of elegance, but more importantly, it carried a deeper meaning. One that resonated with people around the world who had long felt marginalized by traditional standards of beauty. Yet, not everyone embraced her boldness. A major media outlet criticized her choice, deeming the gown too bright for an industry used to more neutral tones. Lupita, with grace and poise, responded, saying, "If you grow up in a world that tells you your skin isn't beautiful, you learn to make it shine as brightly as possible." Her words were not just a defense of her appearance. They were a rallying cry for anyone who had ever felt their beauty was diminished. Lupita's gown wasn't just a fashion statement. It was a declaration of pride in her identity, of celebrating beauty in all its shades, and of refusing to shrink or hide. That night, Lupita not only won Best Supporting Actress, but also became a beacon of representation, showing the world that beauty doesn't have one face. It can be bold, vibrant, and unapologetically real. 16. Dapper Dan. From outcast to fashion icon. Imagine a world where your creativity is seen as a threat, where the culture you love is viewed as a mockery. For Dapper Dan, the world of high fashion didn't want him at the table. In the 1980s, he revolutionized the fashion scene by reimagining luxury brands like Gucci with a Harlem twist, blending street style with high fashion. His boutique became a hub of creativity for hip-hop artists, celebrities, and those looking for a unique spin on luxury. But instead of being celebrated for his bold vision, he faced lawsuits from the very brands he had borrowed from, forcing his store to shut down. However, the story doesn't end there. Dapper Dan's boldness in creating designs that reflected his culture and the world he knew didn't just disappear. It transformed him into a symbol of resilience. 3 decades later, those same brands, once critical of him, came knocking. Gucci sought him out to collaborate, launching a collection that honored the very designs they had once dismissed. Dapper Dan's response to the fashion world's turnaround: "I didn't wait for their approval. I made their fashion my own." His words echo the power of persistence, of standing firm in your truth, and of turning rejection into a legacy. Dapper Dan didn't just influence fashion. He reshaped the industry, proving that staying true to one's roots and vision can ultimately change the game. 17. RuPaul, the drag queen who redefined the stage. RuPaul's name is synonymous with unapologetic self-expression, and his rise to fame is a testament to breaking barriers in both fashion and performance art. When asked why he doesn't dress more simply, RuPaul's response was pure confidence. "I wasn't born to be simple, honey." From the dramatic zebra print gowns at the Met Gala to extravagant drag-inspired ensembles, RuPaul didn't just dress to impress. He dressed to make a statement. His outfits aren't just about aesthetics. They are a declaration of personal freedom, self-empowerment, and a rejection of society's limits. RuPaul's presence on stage transcends mere performance. His style and persona challenge everything from gender norms to beauty standards, making it clear that the world of drag is more than just a subculture. It's a force of cultural change. RuPaul has inspired millions in the LGBT+ community, encouraging them to embrace their true selves without apology, and showing the world that confidence and authenticity are the most powerful tools in breaking down walls. Through his boldness and refusal to conform, RuPaul didn't just redefine drag. He redefined what it means to perform and be seen in a world that often demands you shrink. 18. Serena Williams. When a catsuit shook the tennis world. Serena Williams is known for dominating the tennis court with her athleticism, strength, and unparalleled tenacity. But when she walked onto the court at the 2018 Roland Garros dressed in a figure-hugging black catsuit, she didn't just challenge her opponents. She challenged the very idea of what a woman in sports should look like. The suit was a fusion of performance and symbolism, designed for both comfort and medical necessity after giving birth. Yet, rather than appreciating the functionality of her outfit, the French Tennis Federation banned it, calling it inappropriate for the tournament's spirit. Instead of backing down, Serena turned the situation into an opportunity for self-expression. At her next appearance, she wore a tutu-style dress, a subtle yet powerful statement. Her message was clear. If they're afraid of a bodysuit, maybe it's time they get used to the power of black women. Serena's resilience in the face of criticism wasn't just about tennis. It was a message about owning your narrative and refusing to let society's limitations define you. She turned every match into a statement about empowerment, self-love, and the strength of black women to define themselves on their own terms. 19. Steve Harvey, the 7-meter suit. Steve Harvey's fashion choices have always been bold, but in 2020, his 7-meter-long suit became an internet sensation. As the meme took over social media, many laughed, mocked, and shared the picture of the extravagant outfit. But Steve Harvey wasn't offended. He embraced the attention with humor and confidence. When asked how it felt to become an online joke, he responded with a grin. "They can laugh all they want, but I'm the only one who can pull off a 7-meter suit." His response wasn't just a witty remark. It was an example of how humor and confidence go hand in hand. Harvey's ability to laugh at himself while embracing his unique style showed the world that it's okay to be bold, eccentric, and unapologetically yourself, no matter how unconventional your choices may seem. He didn't just wear the suit, he owned it, proving that when you have the confidence to embrace your individuality, no one can steal your spotlight. 20. Travis Scott, the brown workwear suit. In 2020, when Travis Scott walked the red carpet in a brown workwear suit, many critics mocked him, comparing his attire to a construction worker's uniform. Instead of feeling insulted, Travis responded with confidence, saying, "We're all working hard, just in different ways." His response flipped the narrative, turning what could have been an embarrassment into a declaration of respect for all forms of work and the power of fashion as a means of self-expression. Travis Scott used his outfit to prove that fashion isn't just about conforming to expectations. It's about making a statement and owning your identity. In a world that often equates success with polished appearances, Travis reminded us that style can come from any background and be just as valid and meaningful. It's about confidence, self-awareness, and the courage to wear what makes you feel powerful. 21. Doja Cat, the 30,000 Crystal Ensemble. At Paris Fashion Week 2023, Doga Cat stepped onto the scene in an outfit covered entirely in 30,000 red crystals. Her look was nothing short of mesmerizing, turning her into a living, breathing jewel. It wasn't just a fashion choice, it was a statement. When asked whether she thought her ensemble might be too much, Doga responded confidently, "Your definition of beauty is not mine." In that one sentence, she not only challenged traditional beauty standards, but also made it clear that she isn't afraid to push boundaries and redefine them. Doga Cat's bold move was more than just a flashy, attention-grabbing look. It was a fearless declaration of individuality and self-love. She showed the world that beauty is subjective and not confined to one standard or expectation. Her shimmering, crystal-covered outfit was a metaphor for her journey. A journey where she chooses to shine unapologetically, regardless of how others might perceive it. She proved that true beauty lies in owning your identity and expressing it without fear, creating a new narrative that celebrates the unique and the unconventional. 22. Megan Thee Stallion, the fiery orange gown. At the 2021 Grammys, Megan Thee Stallion wore a striking fiery orange gown that shimmered under the spotlight, making a powerful statement about her confidence, strength, and cultural pride. Critics, as usual, tried to label it too much, but Megan wasn't having it. She fired back with a bold declaration: "A black woman is never too much." Her dress wasn't just a piece of clothing. It was a representation of everything she stands for: unapologetic power, pride in her black identity, and a refusal to shrink in the face of criticism. The fiery orange gown was a perfect embodiment of Megan's essence: vibrant, bold, and impossible to ignore. Her words reminded everyone that black women are worthy of taking up space, of being loud, and of celebrating every facet of who they are. Megan turned a simple fashion critique into a declaration of self-love, acceptance, and empowerment. 23. The Weeknd, the red suit with a bandaged face. In 2020, The Weeknd shocked fans and fashion lovers alike when he arrived at the red carpet wearing a striking red suit paired with a bandaged face. His look left the world confused. Many wondered if he had actually been injured. But The Weeknd had other plans. When asked if his look signified an injury, he smirked and simply said, "Reality is just a performance, and I'm the main character." With that statement, The Weeknd blurred the lines between art, identity, and fashion. His appearance was more than just about shock value. It was a masterful commentary on how society often constructs and consumes the reality of celebrities. By stepping into this performance, The Weeknd became both a character and the creator of his own narrative, rejecting the conventional way celebrities are expected to behave and be perceived. His look wasn't just about wearing a red suit. It was a full-blown statement that pushed us all to reconsider the boundaries between self-expression, art, and performance. 24. Offset, the neon green fur coat. Offset, the rapper and fashion icon, made a bold statement at Milan Fashion Week in 2018 when he donned a neon green fur coat that immediately turned heads. The color was loud, the style extravagant. Everything that high fashion often rejects as too much. Critics didn't hesitate to dismiss the look, calling it over the top and unnecessary. But Offset didn't back down. Instead, he responded, "I am hip-hop, and hip-hop has never been silent." With those words, Offset not only defended his fashion choice, but also redefined what it means to be a part of hip-hop culture. He showed the world that hip-hop is not just about the music, it's about self-expression, boldness, and making a statement, whether through lyrics or fashion. By embracing the vibrant, larger-than-life nature of the neon green coat, Offset sent a message that fashion is about pushing boundaries, expressing yourself, and making your mark on the world, no matter how loud it may be. 25. Kid Cudi, the floral dress on SNL. Kid Cudi has always been an artist unafraid of breaking norms and challenging expectations. In 2021, during his performance on Saturday Night Live, he took the stage in a flowing floral dress, paying tribute to grunge legend Kurt Cobain. His choice to wear a dress in a world that still holds on to rigid gender norms was groundbreaking, and it immediately sparked conversations about masculinity, expression, and identity. When asked why he chose to wear the dress, Kid Cudi responded simply, "If a dress makes you uncomfortable, that's your problem, not mine." With those words, he turned the moment into a statement on the importance of embracing who you are without worrying about the world's judgment. His decision to wear a dress wasn't just a fashion choice. It was a bold act of self-expression that defied the gender binary and invited others to do the same. By making such a statement, Kid Cudi became a symbol of personal freedom, encouraging everyone to embrace their true selves and to wear what makes them feel empowered, no matter the expectations placed on them by society. We've just explored 25 Black celebrities who turned fashion into a powerful statement, each with their own unique expression of style and individuality. Which look stood out to you the most? Or is there another unforgettable fashion moment you think should be on this list? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out on more amazing content.